Hello and welcome to the Backland Report. My name is Carlos Torres, and along with Fred Vader, every week we check in on the world of golf to bring you the latest news, insights, analysis, interviews, recaps, previews. Hey, we cover anything and everything golf. In other words, if it happened in golf, we have it for you. Fred, hi, how are you today?
Hey, Carlos, I had a great Labor Day weekend. Hope everybody had a safe and enjoyable Labor Day. Really wonderful. Perfect weather up here in Cadillac, Michigan. High of 74 degrees today. Beautiful over the weekend. Got in a little golf, played in a scramble with a couple of the grandkids and another friend of mine on Monday. Just a really good time, and kind of watching a little bit about what's been happening in the golf scene. LIV is still in the news, more stuff happening. And, one of the things that's coming around right now, Carlos, that Phil Mickelson is maybe kind of getting some kudos or, some new thoughts from the players because their pockets are getting fuller and they feel maybe Phil was the reason for that.
So you mean to tell me that right now we got to say, hey, Phil Mickelson is definitely was right in what he has been saying, right? Hey, we just want to make sure that everybody gets paid, get their money and all that. And definitely for what we've seen and how the purses in LIV golf and now that the PGA Tour is just countering with their new up raising the purses as well. So indirectly, the PGA Tour, to try to compete and maintain their players from defecting to LIV, they have up already their purses for next year immediately. They're not waiting 2 years or anything. It's next year. We've talked about this. So what's your take? I think to that, is really Phil Mickelson justified for that? Should we nominate him for Golfer of the Year?
You know what? That's pretty funny, really. The thing is that this is not really what Phil was trying to do. He was trying to get more money in his pocket because he wanted those media rights, and he was trying to use the players against the PGA Tour to get the leverage to get more media rights. So indirectly, Phil has kind of resulted in getting more money for PGA Tour players because of all the changes that have gone through. And so, Carlos, let's just for a minute, let's take Pat Perez here, just as an example. Okay, we've been making fun of Pat, but look at this. So by winning the Boston event last week, Dustin Johnson now has made 9.9 million in just 4 events. But because of that, his team did well. So his team is Taylor Gooch, his team is Patrick Reed, and his team is Pat Perez. Well, Perez has finished, let's see here, he's finished 29th, T31, and T15 in 3 events, okay? Now he's made $549,000, almost $550,000 in prize money. That ain't bad for 3 events. He ain't making that on the PGA Tour, right? Plus whatever guarantee they gave him, whether it was 10 million, 20 million, whatever they gave him, he got the guarantee, plus he's getting this. But there's more, Carlos. Just like on TV, there's always more. Because he's on this team with Dustin Johnson and Gooch and Patrick Reed, he's been getting some big money from this team deal that they have, these 4-man teams. So he has made just shy of $2 million in the 3 events that he's been in. Now, he ain't making that on the PGA Tour. So can you draw a line and say, Phil Mickelson is responsible for Pat Perez making one heck of a lot more money on the LIV than he was going to make on the PGA Tour? Well, the case could be made for that. I don't think Phil really meant to do that, but that's kind of what happened. So is he Golfer of the Year? I don't think so. But you know what? This whole thing is putting a lot more money in PGA Tour's pockets as well as the LIV players.
So definitely it's a byproduct, but yeah, we know that of course Phil Mickelson, what he wanted was that the media rights and try to have some more money for him. But at the same time, he did say that he was talking about the players, whether we believe him or not, that he wanted all the players to get all this in their pockets as well. It has come true. I mean, it's funny that Pat Perez said, hey, I double my earnings in 3 starts. Pat, you're wrong. You have tripled them. Okay. You didn't do
Yeah, well,
that.
math wasn't his best subject.
Yeah, but
He
anyway,
lets the money count to his wife.
yeah, and that is not counting his payday for, like you mentioned, for him signing on the dotted line, which reportedly was $10 million. So add that to what he's already won, and he's being over almost $12 million already. Wow. I mean, no cuts events, team payouts leading the way. Pat Perez has earned all this money without even being the lowest score in his team. Man, that's been a great gig for him and for all the others as well. So definitely it has been something that, as a byproduct from what Phil Mickelson did, definitely all the players, PGA Tour or the LIV, are right now earning more money.
Yeah, the thing that concerns me though is, so Pat Perez is finishing well down the leaderboard all the time. So is he going to get to stay on the LIV because he's buddies with Dustin and Patrick Reed and Taylor Gooch, because he's on that team? They've with all these guys have been moving over, all these other big names, they've dropped like 18 guys off that thing. So are they going to be able to keep all these guys now, or where is this thing going to end?
Well, that's the big question, right? We don't know how they're really going to do it, because you can't be more than the 48 players that are going to be playing in each tournament. Now, Pat Perez, he has earned over $28.8 million throughout the course of his career. So he's scheduled, if he finishes all 8 tournaments that would be this year, he might stand to be half of that already in 1 year, which should be maybe 14 million if you just extrapolate what he has won so far. But there's what's going to happen with all those other players. There's those questions there. Are they finally going to be earning world ranking points? Well, we're going to talk about that pretty soon. But anyway, those are the questions that still remain. What are you going to do without all those other players? Because if you think about it, hey, they're already earning the money, is guaranteed. They have contracts that they have signed, and they're earning the money. So whether they play maybe in the Asian tour or other tours that maybe LIV might be able to persuade to do, or they just do a subset of tournaments, which is what I think they might do, is maybe a subset of tournaments internationally for all the players that are not in that top. Because if you see what the PGA Tour is doing, which is basically countering because of the top 20 players, they're really catering to those players. So if you see that, it's an equivalent to what the LIV would be doing, which is their top 48, and what the others are going to be, maybe some subset of tournaments, maybe playing in other leagues that are going to be around the world. We don't know yet what's going to happen with the DP World Tour, because things are getting heated up there. But definitely something to watch. Those are the big questions that we still have no answers to.
We always got more to talk about, Carlos. This is a story that just never ends.
Definitely. And they will be on top of it as soon as we know more. Hey, we have it for you. That every week. We thank you for joining us. It's always our pleasure to bring you the latest in golf news and information. Remember to subscribe to our channel. The information is right down there in the description. Thank you for joining us.